No, man, I'm telling you, it's like these little bunk beds on the airplane. It's like an airline that goes to New Zealand, and you can pay extra to get a bunk bed on the airplane.
But you're not paying. So to be clear, you're not paying for these are queen size beds. It's a twin size bed. So you're gonna. What's the difference in price between like the bed and like a regular seat on the plane?
Well, they call it like a sky pod. It's like a little tiny little like mummy bag type things. Anyway, hold that thought. We'll come back to that in a moment. Welcome everybody to the Great American Little Town podcast. Want to thank everybody for joining in.
Yeah, we are here. Let's get it. Welcome to the Golf Podcast, Great American Little Town. Yes.
So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And sorry, JT and I were just mid conversation on something that's going on, but we'll come back to that topic in a minute. It's very interesting. So welcome. It's April the 15th, Wednesday. As you can see, no, Dan did not get a really good suntan. This is actually a different person.
No, this is not the AI. This is not AI Dan. This would be,
that's funny.
Dan would make it. Hey, Dan, let me just, Dan, I love you, brother. You know I love you. You know, we bonded. It's time to put the AI down.
Yeah,
let's put Chat GPT down. I'm gonna ask our brother Sean to take your phone while you're not looking the next time you're here and delete that, but permanently from your phone. No.
Yeah, this is Dan has gone completely over the board, and he has created an AI image of someone else. This is his avatar. This is Dan's avatar for tonight, right here. So for those of you who don't know,
I'm one of the deniers.
Yeah. So for those of you, the man that needs no introduction. Actually, hold on. I have a script that your agent told me to read. Where's that paper?
My agent. Yeah. Shout out to Nathan Potato, said happy tax day. I hope everyone goes through this minimal pain.
Okay. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on, folks, but I was supposed to read this when we introduced him here. It says, so I'd like to introduce the one and only Mr. Local social media influencer, West Coast greatest voice. What's this say here? Hold on. What Latino lady lover? What's this? Hold on.
Did Matt write that for you? Hold on. Did Matthew Ward? Did you write?
Now, can I finish this? Mexican food critic.
Oh my God.
Ethnic culture historian.
Okay, I like that.
I don't know. This sounds like a bunch of line. Just a line of BS to me. Anyways, Mr. JT Thomas.
Matt passed that to you. Shout out to Matt. I know that looks like Matt's handwriting. Yeah, shout out to Matt.
It's not French, not from Matt, but shout out to Matt anyways. Yeah, happy tax day. Woo!
Yes.
Happy. I would like to give a shout out to Heather Farmer. Today's her birthday.
Shout out to Heather.
Yep.
Shout out to Heather.
Yep, today's her birthday. Yay. And it's also, what also happened today? The Titanic sunk in 1912. And in 1865, Abraham Lincoln was shot.
Today?
Those all happened today on April 15th.
Really?
Yep. Well, actually, on the 15th, he died the next morning. So he actually died on April 15th.
So I never knew. Yeah. I thought he died from the initial wound because he got shot in the back of the head, right?
Yeah. He on the night of the 14th when he was at Ford's Theater, but then he actually died in his bed on April the 15th. The Titanic did hit the iceberg in the wee hours of the morning and sank on this day, though. That's another.
Shout out to Feline Rocks, who said Boston bombing happened that time too.
Oh, that's right, huh? Yeah, man, all kinds of bad things.
You picked a very interesting day to have me in here, Sean. Like it, bro, like you
kind of crazy.
We could have did this on Thursday or Tuesday.
Kind of a crazy day. But before I move on, I want to make sure I get my legal statement out. I want to remind everybody the Great American Little Town podcast is an independent broadcast not associated with the city of Galt. It is not a platform or I'm not a spokesperson for the city of Galt, and the views and the discussions that we have on the show are the reflection of ourselves and not the city, etc., etc., etc.
Might be of the county, but not the city. Anyway, go ahead. So
Dan's traveling. For those of you who don't know, he's in North Dakota visiting family. He actually sent us a picture. Can we throw that picture up on the screen? Let me know when that. Let me know.
Where the buffalo roam, where the deer.
Yeah, this is Dan. Dan sent us this little picture today. He was just out in North Dakota. He said, "Can you share this on the show tonight for all my fans?"
And the skies are not.
I'm gonna tell my kids that's Paul Bunyan. Oh no, Paul Bunyan's bull was blue. He was blue, wasn't he?
A blue buffalo?
Blue buffalo.
Maybe that's what there's like a dog fooder called Blue Buffalo.
That might be I think
I just had like a light bulb moment.
Babe the blue. Sean said, "Babe the blue ox." It was an ox, not a buffalo.
The blue ox.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I misidentified the ox.
Shout out to Dan. That's him right there. He says that was wrong. One strong bison.
See now they know I'm not AI anymore. Now I know I'm not AI. Dan. They've discovered the secret identity. Dan, I know you. I know. I care for you as you care for me.
Yeah.
Delete Delete Chat GPT.
I don't think it's not Chat GPT. I don't think he's using. Anyways,
he forgot he got a good he had a good job. He can afford Grok. Get rid of Grok.
Got good retirement.
Let me retire.
So on its hold on. Don't get ahead. So I want to remind everybody. So we're going to talk about all kinds of crazy stuff tonight. We are going to talk about some local events and things we do, but we got some topics that kind of have been in the news that are interesting. We're going to talk about. But I also want to remind everybody we have our swag in. I picked up our new shirts and our new stuff. We are going to be giving away a new Great American Little Town podcast shirt tonight. I have them right here. We're going to give away a Fred trivia question. So make sure you stick around to the end of the show or you're not going to be able to win the shirt. And so for one of you lucky people, we don't just give these shirts out to anybody. There's only a few of them floating around. Do you have one of these shirts, JT?
I don't.
See, he doesn't even have one.
I feel very left out.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be,
I didn't even
you got to be a loyal viewer and you got to get the questions to get the shirt.
I'm not loyal.
But you gotta win. You gotta win the trivia. Sorry, it's how it works, man.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
It's good, bro. It's good.
All right. Anyways, so what is going on today? So back to that subject we were talking about when we came on the air. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's this New Zealand airline. They have for coach. It's an extra cost. You can get a bunk bed. They're calling it bunk bed. Well, they're calling it sky pods. They're little bunk beds that are like stacked in little fours. Like you climb up in them, and they're like 2 feet by 2 feet, and you can't be over 6'4". They're only 6'4" long, and you can climb up in there and you can sleep for up to 4 hours during their long flights. So for example, they have a flight from JFK to Auckland, New Zealand, which is 16-hour flight. Mm-hmm. For that flight, you can actually pay a little extra and get a 4-hour slot in that little bunk bed to sleep if you're tired.
That would never work in America because I'm pretty sure those bunk beds have a weight requirement. If they have a height requirement, they probably have a weight requirement.
Yeah, but they're probably pretty strong though. You know what they look like? They look like, in the submarine where you show bunks in a submarine, how they're cubbies. They look like kind of like that. But the reporter that was doing the story said they were comfortable but very claustrophobic feeling. So if you have claustrophobia, you can't. Now here's the rules. You can't eat at them. You can't bring a bunch of stuff in there with you. You can't bring like your baggage stuff. You can bring a laptop. Oh, no, you can't bring a laptop. You can bring your headphones and maybe like your phone, but you can't bring a bunch of stuff. You can't share the bed, so you can't bring 2 people in there. Because that was the first question. Yeah. Mile High Club? Mile High Club? No Mile High Club. No.
That's bro. So what type of shit is that?
Well, and remember, we're on a G-rated show.
I'm sorry. That's just hilarious. So you gonna say so you gonna make me pay extra to not be able to do anything else that I could have done if I hadn't did. So I can't eat. I can't go to the bathroom. I have to just sleep.
No. Listen. So you have your regular seat in coach. This is just sometime during the flight, you have paid extra for a 4-hour time slot where you can go and basically have a nap because it's such a long flight. But here's the kicker. You want to know how much it is? Extra? It's $500 extra.
Nah.
Is 4 hour nap worth $500?
Nah. And I just got a notification on my phone. Look at that from American Airlines. That's a sign from God. Nah, stick to American Airlines. What airline company is that you talking about?
This is a New Zealand airline that flies out of JFK.
Stick to American Airlines, y'all. Don't stick to what he's talking about. No.
So check this out. So a regular coach ticket from JFK to Auckland, New Zealand is $1,300. How much do you think a first class ticket is?
$2,100.
$7,700. Right. Yeah. They say that that airlines are getting really good. They talked about Southwest is actually coming out with, if you get coach, you can get an aisle that has a little more leg room, but it's a little bit extra fee. So they're like nickel and diming you now. Oh, we'll give you a chair that's got a little extra cushioning. That's $100 more. Or for $20 more, we'll give you a food tray that flips down. So they're going to just nickel and dime. It's all add-ons, man.
Anybody that done some real travel would know. when you see the initial price for what your ticket would be once you look it up on Google, it's say $800. By the time you get to the cart where you've already racked up $600 more in fees. Just like, it's not even like, no.
Yeah. You know what I'd be like? I'd be like, you know what? I'll just ride in the cargo hold with the luggage, and I'll just give me like a $50 ticket. But then you freeze it up. It's like freezing cold in there with the luggage.
I don't give a dang. Listen, I do security. I can fall asleep anywhere. I done fell asleep on tractors. I done fell asleep in
It is, but I tell you what, it is. I have noticed I don't fly a lot. So like sometimes great spans of time will go like maybe 2, 3, 4 years between the times I fly. I've only flown like 5 times. I noticed the last time I flew that I'm telling you what, man, those seats are right there, dude. There is like no leg room at all. I was like, man, is it always this tight? I mean, you can't put your arm down. It's like you get the armrest or I get the armrest. We don't get our own armrest. There's just one armrest.
If you fly just basic coach, last time I flew United, then it's like that. But if you do like preferred seating, like the flight before that I did preferred seating, then it's a lot more leg room. It's a lot more comfortable. Now, first class, I've walked by them. I'm not paying an extra $1,000 for first class. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah.
It looks comfortable, but it's like the flight's going to be over in a few hours. So you're paying an extra $1,000.
Well, but that's for people that like, they're like, they got the pockets for that stuff. Nate Potato says, have you seen the prototype double-decker seats they're talking about? No, I have not seen the double-decker seat. I'm just picturing in my mind what that looks like. I don't understand.
So I'm going to tell you, I haven't seen that, but I can tell you, shout out to Nate. When I went to Brazil, they have we'll say their version of Greyhound. They do have these things where on the bottom level of the double-decker, they have beds. You can actually pay like $100 extra for a bed. I took it both times.
So then the airline's having a bed. That's not a new concept.
No, but this one's better because you can eat in it. You can eat in it. You can kick back and like it's like a really, and then you get like your own. It's not like a regular. It's not like what you're talking about. It's not like a bunk bed. Like you get your own space.
Well,
like
it's right. I've seen that. What I thought was interesting too, though, is one of the people asked like, well, can you bring a baby? Like, what if you're a mother and you have an infant? Can you go get the 4-hour slot because you need to lay down with your baby? They said you can't have 2 people in there, even if it's an infant. I was like, well, that's stupid. I know. It's dumb. Anyways, yeah. So, you were talking about, what were we talking about else before? Oh, so have you ever heard of, these are not related to golf. These are just topics in the news I saw that JT I thought would find was fascinating. Have you ever heard of what's called looks maxing?
I've heard of the phrasing, but not.
It's called looks back. I haven't really I haven't done a deep dive into it. I've only saw this thing on 60 Minutes about it. Okay, it was a brief thing about the 60 Minutes. So looks maxing is this trend. I would call it a terrible trend, and I guess apparently it's a really popular in Australia. Yeah, Nate says Gen Z / alpha slang. Yeah, so what they do is these kids are doing things to their faces to alter the way they look. So I guess it's like really trendy to have like a chiseled jawline, like a real chiseled, facial features. So they're actually taking like little hammers or little like thing, and they're actually banging their face, and they're like breaking up like the bone structure in their face. And by something with you by doing that, it like makes the bone structure change in the face.
It's facial contouring. It's facial contouring.
So they're doing all this stuff and along with some other things to change the way they look. And then like, they're doing like, I guess some other, this to me isn't that crazy because in the 80s, a lot of guys did this, but they're using like a lot of eyeliner and stuff and just feet, with their eyes and stuff. But I mean, that's not nothing new, but
you know what?
That's just weird. I'm like, what do you mean you're hitting breaking? I'm like, what is this? This is crazy.
That can go into a very interesting topic. How far is too far because there's cultures where you have women where they'll bind their feet.
Yeah.
There's cultures we have when they put like the disc in their mouth.
Yeah.
There's people who do that thing. Like all of these are essentially like aesthetic practices and quote unquote to make yourself.
Well, you're right. You're right. I mean, look at the guy. I knew a guy who, you put the rings in where your lobes, gauges, right? The gauges, and you get some that are like, you can get, this guy had them out to like here. Mm-hmm. And it was crazy. He'd go into like bars and stuff and people would be like, what the heck? Because you just didn't see like that kind of stuff around here very much. Right. It was kind of wild, but I mean, this is such a big topic. I mean, you got Botox, a lot of women use that to alter the face and, things like, men use it too, I'm sure, but there's a lot of things that go on that people alter, people get nose jobs, of course, cosmetic surgery. I can go on and on and on. People trying to, express some stuff up, make themselves when they're 80 years old, they look like they're 25. and their face looks like rubber.
Shout out to Chris who said reconstructive surgery at home is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Chris Lang. Chris Lang is my birthday, buddy. We have the same birthday.
Shout out to Chris.
So reconstructive surgery at home. I'm assuming, Chris, that you're referring to the looks maxing stuff I was just mentioning, where you're just like, hey, you don't need a doctor, bro. I'll just come over with my hammer. I got a hammer from Home Depot, dude. We'll just smack on your jaw a little bit. We'll fix you right up.
My Medi-Cal wouldn't cover it.
We'll fix you right up, man. We'll fix you right up. Or you know what? Hey, here's the thing. I mean, why not just go down? Why not just go down in like a bad part of town and talk trash to a bunch of guys and have them kick the shit out of you? And you feel sorry for the language.
I was swollen.
You're all swollen up. Don't worry, I'm gonna look better once I heal.
Once the fluid leaks.
Yeah. Once the puffiness around my eye swells, I'm gonna look so much better. Anyways,
I'll say that to what you're saying about the looks, man. I'll say that's wild to me, but.
Doesn't surprise you.
It doesn't. We live in a weird world, Sean. We live in there's cultures. There was cultures where women at some points would cut off one of their breasts because that was a standard at a certain point. Like it.
I saw a show on TV. I forget what it was. It was maybe I don't even know. But they were in some country, and I don't even remember where or whatever. But it was this tribe in some country, right? You know, I want to say African tribe because that's a typical word, but it wasn't probably an African. I don't know if it was an African or not. Anyways, but the most desirable men in the tribe were the ones that had the biggest bear bellies, the biggest bellies, right? And so it was a big thing to like get your belly like really protruding, whatever. And those were like the most desirable men. Like the women were like, that's the one we want.
Because the argument for that, maybe because they live somewhere where food is so scarce, that displays, oh, he's eating.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Like he's not scrawny and starving, so I want that guy.
I'm gonna tell you, Sean.
He's got the most food. I'm gonna hook up with him.
Let me tell you something, Sean, and you'll learn this once you get to my age. You will be shocked.
Once I get to your age,
you will be shocked.
Once I go backwards in time,
you would be shocked. The reasoning a woman will come to of how she thinks this person in front of her is a valuable man. It'll be something. Oh my God, he has big ears. That means he can hear danger before anybody else. Like what? I swear. You could.
Hey, speaking of danger, look. I want to revisit just for a quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this topic, but since you brought that up and it reminded me, we were having a debate the other day on we did our little teaser video for the show.
Yeah, and
we had a little debate on something. I want to revisit that debate just for a second.
Here we
go. Just to bring everybody up to speed on our debate. This is totally off the wall topic, so I apologize. Just bear with us for a moment. Okay. Any of you folks that are into superhero and stuff like that, this will be right up your alley. But JT was trying to convince me that Batman, and in the superhero world, Batman was the stupidest superhero. Please tell us again.
Batman is the Malibu's most wanted of superheroes. Batman is the
what?
He's the most.
What's Malibu's most? What does that mean?
She knows what
like
I'm
faker,
about.
like player, like fake.
He's the most fake wannabe. He's like the kid. He's like the kid who grew up in the suburbs, listened to NWA straight out of Compton CDs, and wanted to be a hardcore thug because of it. He grew up rich. He's the richest person in the Marvel in the DC universe. Right.
So why does that make him not a superhero?
Because he has trillions and trillions of dollars, and because he's
you can't be a superhero if you're rich. Yeah. Hey, wait! I got it for you, bro. I got the answer.
Bring back Cole.
No, listen. I got it for you. A new superhero. He's the anti-rich Batman. We're gonna call him Ghetto Man. Ghetto Man. He came from nothing. He fights for the poor people.
Do you know why Ghetto? You know why G-Man will make a lot more sense? Because G-Man.
Dude, that's cool.
Because I like that. G-Man had nothing else but his ability to be a superhero.
I can see that. I can see if Matt Ward, if you're watching right now, or if Dan, being you're probably knee deep in AI right now. I can see a meme coming right now. An image of JT Thomas in a it has to be spandex leotards with a cape.
No.
Big G on the chest. Big G on the chest.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm in backgrounds right now, and mercenary work is vigilante work can be a disqualifier for this job. But with that being said,
it'll just be in humor though.
But with that being said, no, like this. So here's
Nate said it. Batman's only superpower is formal ninja training and blackjack. Now listen. Nate makes a good point. Let's get serious about this. This is a serious discussion. Okay, I will admit though, that unless I'm wrong, somebody can prove me wrong. Well, no, I just thought of another superhero. So Batman and Iron Man, very, very much alike.
Very much.
These are two people that are not superheroes because they actually have some supernatural power of sorts. They only have the means to a certain technology that they've created.
They have the best superpower. They were born rich and not baby rich.
That's a superpower?
Yes, you're born with trillions of dollars. People who have never, if those of y'all see, we're nerds, y'all don't know this. If you've actually read the DC comic books, Batman he's not regular rich. Batman's generally like one of the top 3 richest people in the world. He can
the richest person in a fake city called Gotham City. It's fake city.
He could just get the Joker help. He can put him in an insane asylum and get him some help. Shock therapy. I don't know. He could build bring back coal. He could do something to stop crime.
Stop. But you got to remember, in this day and age, if you have mental illness like the Joker, they can't force you into help. You have rights.
So he can't force him into help, but he can force him in the back of the Batmobile every 5 minutes and keep taking him back up to Arkham.
So back up. So this is a valid question. Aside from Superman, because that's a gimme, Superman can't be in the equation because obviously that's the first answer. Besides Superman, who do you think is actually the coolest superhero and why? In your opinion,
Superman, 1000%.
I just said you can't use Superman because it'd be everybody's answer because he has all these great powers. Anybody's going to pick him. You have to pick number 2. Who's the second best superhero, and why?
I'd say anybody whose powers are on the level of a Superman.
But they're not. But see, nobody else's powers are. That's the thing.
Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter.
Wonder Woman. Really, bro? Wait a second. Wait, hold on. Hold that thought. Did you just say Wonder Woman?
Who would beat who in a fight? Wonder Woman or Batman? What? Who would beat who in a fight? Wonder Woman or Batman?
Stop.
Who would beat who in a fight?
What is Wonder Woman's superpower?
She's super strong.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is. You didn't know that?
Oh,
Wonder Woman's strong. No, Wonder Woman's super strong. People, let him know. People, let him know. Let him know in the comments. He don't know this about Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's actually just as strong as Superman. Listen, everybody, let him know in the comments. Let him know in the comments. Let him know in the comments.
I'm not talking. Listen, I'm gonna go way back when Wonder Woman was way back when you used to watch it on Justice League, when I was a kid. Not the Wonder Woman the way they make her sound with it. I'm not talking about the Wonder Woman.
She was super strong.
Let me talk.
Then.
No, let me talk. I'm not talking about Wonder Woman from the CGI movies that they make now, the Marvel movies. I'm talking about OG Wonder Woman. She had a lasso that would throw around you and make you tell you the truth. Well, that's not a superpower. Okay, she's an Amazon. Well, okay, so she's a little bit strong, but she ain't no Superman. Hold on. She has an invisible jet. Bro, this is what I never could figure out. She's flying in the invisible jet. Well, we can't see the jet, but we can see her in the jet.
Sean, I'm telling you this, and they're going to agree with. I'm telling you this as somebody who's a DC nerd. Wonder Woman has super
All right, okay, I'm wrong. Even Nate says Wonder Woman's immortal. All right, I get it. Okay, I'm wrong. I guess I don't understand all the powers that Wonder Woman has.
That's what I was trying to say. She's literally, her strength is on par. So the strongest heroes in the DC universe,
but not on par with Superman. Stop,
close.
Please. Please.
So the five strongest, as studies have shown, the 5 strongest DC superheroes are Superman, Orion, Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman.
Well, what are these other people? I never even heard of those people. Martian Manhunter,
John Jones, the green guy.
Oh my god! I'm talking about OG people, like
when
OG
you get older.
superheroes.
When you get older, listen, bro.
No, we're in different generations. We can't.
Martian Manhunter's before. He's from the 30s or 40s.
I'm talking about mainstream superheroes, dude.
These are mainstream. Martian Manhunter's.
Let me ask you this: he ain't mainstream to have a modern movie made about him.
He was in Justice League the cartoons. He was in Justice League the cartoons. And they're in comics. Shout out to Philo said they're in the comics and they mainstream.
All right, let's talk about some other superheroes real quick.
Okay.
What's the thing? Okay, let's talk about Aquaman.
Okay.
First of all, Aquaman, it's kind of weird because if you're trying to fight the bad guys in the ocean or near some body of water, then he's definitely got an edge on you because he has control over marine life and stuff. But if you're on land, dude, Aquaman is a non-starter, man. But what do you just hey, bro, hey, Aquaman, we're fighting on land right now. But tell you what, if things move towards you and get near the water, you got it. You got our backs. We'll be ready. You'll be ready for us if we come your way.
There is nobody who defends Aquaman. Aquaman is completely useless. He's been useless since 1947. They didn't even have a comic book. I know he's useless because when they stormed the beaches of Normandy, and none of the comics that came out then they use him in one of their reenactments of it. No. Like they use Superman in some World War II comics.
Well, speaking of World War II and stuff like that, this is a superhero that they've tried to intertwine with war and like World War II, whatever, especially in the modern. Captain America. Dude is like in a suit. He's got a shield that can protect from pretty much anything. He throws the disc, it fly, whatever. What outside of that shield and the fact that he can fight, what does he do? What?
He's like, it's just doping.
What does doping mean? What does that mean?
Steroids.
Oh, no, but seriously, Captain America he's not even, how do you even say he's a superhero, dude? Captain America, like, I hate to be the downer on this right now because he's like Captain America, and I want to be anti-American, but I just don't understand. So he's genetically altered. Okay,
so I'm gonna say.
So he's genetically altered to be like as strong as the Amazon woman. I get it. So the common thing here is, if you're super strong, if you have extra strong strength, like if you're the Incredible Hulk, okay, Incredible Hulk, he has this thing where when he gets mad, he turns into Hulk. Okay, you got him. You got whoever superheroes just has extra strength higher than a normal human, then all of a sudden you're a superhero.
No. Well,
that's basically what you're saying.
No. That's not the same. Wonder Woman in the DC world, her strength is, I'm telling you, even since the comics, her strength has always been put like at Superman or higher.
So name a superhero that in your opinion is closest to on par with Superman, who has actually a superpower that's pretty cool. Or maybe more than one superpower that's pretty
Martian
cool.
Manhunter. I just told you. A Martian Manhunter.
Never heard of him.
Orion.
Never. Well, Orion I heard of, but
Wonder Woman. I'm telling you, true comic book nerds, they know what I'm talking about.
Doctor Strange. What's Doctor Strange? What is?
No. That's Marvel. We have to stay in DC.
Okay. Spider-Man would be a better example.
No. Spider-Man.
No.
Spider-Man's weak. Wonder Woman would step on Spider-Man.
So here's the thing about Spider-Man. The only thing is Spider can see is
that's close. Green Lantern's close. Green Lantern's kind of. He's kind of. Green Lantern's.
Why? What does Green Lantern do? Don't look at me with that look, JT. Look, I'm 53 years old. I'm not 20. You got. I know who Green Lantern is, but remind me what his superpowers are. Oh, here we go.
Do you know how old Green Lantern is?
No, I know. I'm asking you to elaborate, because here's the thing.
I don't know how to explain.
Based from the 1980s, what Green Lantern did in the original cartoons, what he was able to do, and now what Marvel Universe makes the guy do in some movie has probably changed. It's a lot different now. So I want to know.
No, you have to Okay, so we have to go back to the comics. All of these people that I'm bringing up, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Orion, they've been in DC Comics since the 1940s and 30s.
Yeah, I know.
Green Lantern's power, the era you're talking about, those cartoons from that, you're talking about the Super Friends era.
Yeah, Super Friends. Yeah, you go.
That Green Lantern's powers are actually dumbed down a lot. It's the same thing with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's powers are actually dumbed down a lot. Green Lantern, if you're talking about whose powers are on the level of a Superman, it would be, and I keep bringing up Orion.
I feel like we're on an episode of the comic book. What are those guys that talk about comic book stuff? I feel like this is what we're doing right now.
Because I was a nerd with this stuff, bro. Shout out to Phoenix. Sean should have done some research.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this topic up real quick. So finish what you're saying, so we move on.
I'll say if you were saying whose powers or who, you know what you're trying to say is who can hold their own against Superman in a fight. We'll say that it'd be Captain Marvel, it'd be Martian Manhunter, kind of. Orion, kind of. You know Captain Marvel? Shazam?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Okay, Shazam.
What about Flash?
Oh, God, no.
You can run fast. Bro, let me just give you, I'm going to say one last comment. We're moving on. Okay, just because you said it, you tried to act like that. Dude, Superman can fly, first of all. Okay? He can burn things with his eyes. He has like X-ray. He can see through stuff. And he can burn stuff with his eyes, like laser vision or whatever you call it, right? Okay, he's super strong. Okay, he's basically bulletproof. Like you can't blow him up, you can't shoot him, you can't nothing, right? Okay, so who can do any super hearing? Like all his senses are like whatever. Nobody else is like that.
Martian
not even
Manhunter.
close.
Martian Manhunter. You know who the problem is.
Manhunter.
You know who he is.
That's all you got for me.
You know who he is. You just can't remember. But that's what I'm telling you. You know who.
All right, we're moving on. We'll agree to disagree.
You know, because
the point of it is, what we've established here by this conversation is You can be rich and be a superhero. That's fact one. You still can be, you can be Iron Man. You can be, if you have money, you can be a superhero because you buy your way into the superhero world by having cool stuff. That's how you become a superhero. Right?
I swear to God, when this show is done, I'm doing a drive-by with comic books of your house. I'm just gonna be throwing, hey, take this. It's gonna be issues of Superman 1 and
fair enough. Fair enough.
Come on.
Fair enough. Speaking on a serious topic, did you see that? So this is what, speaking of needs for a superhero, actually, speaking of superhero, who was a real superhero today was a police officers in Omaha, Nebraska.
That's all right. Yeah, you told me.
This lady, I don't know if y'all hear the story. So this lady, like, she's schizophrenic. She has a history of schizophrenia and whatever else. She goes into Walmart. She basically shoplifts a knife, like we're talking about a steak, like one of those big, the whatever you call what do you call the big knife? It's got this, it's wide at the bottom and narrow. So I'm having a brain freeze right now. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about, like a butcher knife. And she abducts this kid from, I guess, a nanny or a caregiver or something, and she has this kid, and she's threatening the kid with a knife. There's like body cam footage of her, like she slashes the kid in the face with a knife, and then there's like a body cam footage of her about to maybe stab the kid, and the police officers, they basically kill her. Right. So it's bad. It's a bad thing. I mean, it's a terrible thing, terrible for the kid, terrible that this lady, lost her life. But what was highly disturbing about this subject, and I want to get your take on this. Apparently she had been arrested multiple times. She has like a huge background. She stabbed her father, then tried to burn the apartment down. And she was caught. There's video of her trying to jump out the window after she lit the apartment on fire, after she stabbed her father. She was arrested and taken to jail and charged with all kinds of charges. And she basically, they gave her like a slap on the wrist because she pleaded insanity or whatever. And they just gave her a slap on the wrist and spit her back on the street. She has a plethora of charges. And now here she is abducting somebody's child and almost killing this child. This is an example of people not getting, we talked about this before, right? You've seen us talk about this on the show. Dan and I have talked about this many times. There is a massive need for mental health in this world for people that are not getting it. And this lady is the absolute poster child for that. Imagine if she would have killed this kid. If I was a kid's parents and my kid just got killed by this schizophrenic lady who basically got let out of jail like multiple times because she was crazy. Well, of course she's crazy. Normal people don't do stuff like that. How do you plead insanity? Oh, I'm not guilty, Your Honor. I'm not guilty of doing these crazy things because I'm not right in the head. Well, of course you're not.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I think there are people in this world who are mentally ill who are beyond help, and I do think there are some who do need help.
Well, I don't know if she's beyond help, but I'm just sad that she slipped through the cracks in the system.
I think the problem with that is there are a lot of people who do slip through the cracks. When I've taken this is a funny story. When I've taken the BART train in the Bay Area, it's very normal to walk to a BART train station and see somebody crazy pulling their hair, et cetera, like that. Those of y'all who work in the Bay know.
Really?
You just kind of get used to it. That's just normal to go to the BART train station and see that, right? Now, some of y'all who worked in the Bay know what I'm about to bring up. 2 years ago, there was a woman at one of the BART stations at Daly City. This one dude pushed her in front of the train. She died. She hit her head on the thing and died. That woman, that person who pushed her, he just was any other normal just psycho that you just see walking around the BART train tripping like that. But naturally, we kind of, if you ride the BART train, you just build an immunity to it. She's like, okay, bro, it is what it is. But that just happened to be the one that just said fucking and pushed her and like,
watch the language.
Excuse my language, said effing and just pushed her, and just pushing in front of her. So it's kind of hard. So my man said, anytime I ride BART, I see some wild stuff. Yeah. And the thing to what he's saying, you never know if one of those people that you see can be that one who does something that crazy to you. And that's the hard part is.
So Nate Patil said, do you just get to, if you plead insanity, do they just let you go? Well, they didn't just dismiss and let her go, but they dropped all the charges in light of her pleading insanity. They put her like rehab. They put her in like a probation it was something like, it was basically a slap on the wrist, in my opinion. When she basically tried to kill somebody and then tried to burn the freaking apartment down. Like, and you just basically say, oh, I'm not saying that, but the system is broken. There's some crazy people out there doing some crazy stuff. And I don't know. Anyways,
I'll say in closing to that, I don't know how you fix the system because two things can be true. That woman was clearly crazy, But also at the same time, I don't think she should have been on the streets.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And
yeah.
That's the hard part.
So another topic, another subject we had, I'm still just kind of sticking with news of the day, is we had let's see, I saw this thing about you. So you know how popular like GLP-1s are, right? Ozempic and all the other ones that they're very popular because the FDA approved them, so now so you can get a prescription. I don't know personally. I don't know how difficult it is to get a prescription. I think it's fairly easy from what I've on my understanding of it, and maybe I could be wrong. So if somebody has a better comment, they can jump in and say. But what's happening is I saw an interesting subject today that they're saying that because it's so popular, and people's health insurance will cover that because it's being prescribed, right? Because it's a prescription, right? It's not some like over the counter thing, apparently, as far as I know. And it's expensive. That health providers are being overwhelmed by the cost. Like it's seriously tanking their cost. Like, so they're having to back off. And apparently a lot of companies, not all of them, but I guess they're all following suit with each other, and they're backing off, and they're not going to cover they're not going to cover it at all, or they're not going to cover the full cost of it or something like that, because it's literally overwhelming them in cost. Like everybody's getting it. They're saying that everybody's is getting prescriptions for it. It's just and it's expensive. So I don't know what the answer is there, but
Obamacare shouldn't be paying just because you can't resist eating Raising Cane's every day. We need to talk about that. This is the problem with America. It's a lack of discipline. Get a diet. If you're that insecure, stop walking to these goddamn doctors. A few of them was related to me.
Yeah, so Nate Potato said America pays 20 times. So they did say that. They basically, so the representative from the insurance company said, well, they need to lower the cost of it. It's too expensive. And so they went to one of the companies that produces Ozempic or whatever one of the other, and they say, well, we can't really lower. Why would they lower it though? If you have something popular and people are willing to pay for it, the demand's too high. They ain't gonna lower the cost of that thing.
They want their money, brother. Oh.
Now to play a devil's advocate, I'm not defending the insurance companies. What the person was put on the spot and said, they said to the Mr. Insurance, let's say you're the insurance person, right? They said, well, isn't it better to pay for a drug that will help them lose weight and become slimmer and whatever, to prevent future costs of cardiovascular disease, stroke, all these things that people can die from or have health problems when they become overweight as they get older. So by paying for this drug now, you could be preventing 5 times future costs for the same person.
No, you're not, because the moment they stop taking that drug, they get back fat again. Is
that how it works?
You don't like it. Doesn't. It's not.
I don't know how this stuff works. So
that's one of those kind of things. Like that's one of those kind of things where you have to keep taking it because you don't. The reason why I've always been against weight loss drugs is because you don't build the discipline naturally that'll keep you at a comfortable weight for 30, 40, and 50 years. That's the problem. This is a get quick. This is a quick, easy fix.
Yeah, but isn't there a lot of people that take it that kind of take it in conjunction? I know some people who take it in conjunction with going to the gym pretty regularly and working out and stuff. So they're trying to use it together with that to try to, maybe they're trying to speed along the process, I guess you could say.
Shout out to Nate Potato. I like you, Nate. He said, if accompanied with lifestyle changes, you can keep the pounds off. But most people don't change their habits. Let's repeat what Nate said. If accompanied with lifestyle changes, no more Raising Cane's every Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. No more doubles and triples from the secret.
What about on Fridays? Can Raising Cane's on Fridays? You didn't say Friday.
Once a week, on preferably on a Friday.
Like no Raising Cane's at all. Not even like maybe the baby chicken strip.
You can do Raising Cane's once a week with Diet Coke.
I like Raising Cane's. Although Raising Cane's, dude, I don't know what it is, but they're so expensive now. Bro, last time I went to Raising Cane's, the portions were so small and the cost was so much. I'm like, what happened? Did they sucker us in? Did they open one locally? Wow, we got Raising Cane's out here in our area now. And then all of a sudden they just jacked the prices up.
What's so sad about that is I remember when Raising Cane's wasn't in California.
Yeah, they got good sweet tea though.
They do. Lie. I remember my first time having it was in Arizona and it was so cheap. We used to get after the football games at school, bro, we used to go there bro.
Really? See, they're new. I've never been to one until they came out here.
And the ones out here are trash. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Going back to the GLP, just to finish that subject real quick. So they asked the insurance company, well, why not pay for this drug now to prevent future obesity and stuff? Because obesity obviously is going to be a killer. You're going to have to pay for, people could become diabetic, heart disease, all this stuff, right? And the guy said, no, I agree with you. that it could help prevent future costs. Like we might end up paying. So if we were covering your costs, if I was the insurance provider and I'm covering your medical expenses, JT, future JT, if he was overweight and obese and whatever and has all these health problems, I might cost way more and then whatever than to pay for GLP-1 for you now, for you to get thin and be healthier, right? That's what they're trying to say. But the problem with the insurance company is saying is, he's like, I agree with that, but who's fronting all that cost right now? They're basically saying that they're not. The one company they lost $160 million in one fiscal year.
I believe it.
160 million. They said out of that 160 million, they said 30 or 40 million of that was directly linked to just the GLP-1 costs that they had to incur.
And the issue I have with that, particularly with Americans, is a lot of that is shit that it's stuff that could be simply solved by diet discipline, by dietary discipline. Do you know that one boy who got that talk show, the fat British guy, James Carden or something? The one he was touching on Justin Bieber or something like what's his name? James Corden. I remember he did this whole thing talking about, I've struggled with the diets and et cetera, et cetera. James Corden. Yes, I said James Corden. I've struggled and et cetera, et cetera. There are people out there who do have bad something glands and et cetera, and diabetes. The overwhelming majority of Americans, I can't speak for Britain, but the overwhelming majority of us is just a lack of dietary discipline. It's tough though. Yeah. I mean, come on. We live in a world that's, let's be honest. I don't want to get into it. This is a whole nother subtopic, but let's just say this. It is. We live in a world where it is very difficult to eat healthy and whatever. It is so easy to eat bad. It's very easy. It's so convenient. It's very convenient to eat bad food and eat things that are not good for you. It's so convenient. It takes, like you said, it takes a lot of discipline, and it actually takes more money, to be honest with you. It does. It's more expensive to eat better and eat healthier. And it takes a lot of more time because you have, to go cook and eat, and you have to go, and the time it takes to go through the store and figure out what has good stuff, whatever. It's a lot of work. I'm not trying to give somebody a cop out on it. I'm just saying. But what the insurance company said is they're not going to just cut out not paying for it. What they're going to do is they're going to require some prerequisites. So you can't just go down and easily get a prescription just because you think you need it because you don't feel like you can lose weight anywhere else. They're going to make you prove that you've done. They're going to have a regime where you've tried to eat healthier. There's they want you to show that you've tried to eat healthier, exercise, blah, 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 whatever. There's some criteria that you have to meet before you can get a prescription for GLP-1. That makes sense.
No, it does. It does.
You need to start forcing people to be accountable. I made a post about this a few days ago. The biggest problem, I said in California in the post, but in this country in general, is there's just a lack of accountability. It's a lack of self-accountability. We all want the quick,
you know what? You could say the same thing, even though steroids are not FDA approved, right? And they're not on level. But steroids, you can draw a close analogy to steroids. You could say a steroid is a way for you to try to get fit faster, like build your muscles faster. You don't want to put in the hard work and put down the years. You want to take steroids. So what if insurance companies were covering steroids? Would that be okay?
No, I don't think that's okay. But I'm gonna tell you something. It's the same thing in Brazil. They were trying to get certain insurance companies to cover plastic surgery.
Yeah. No, I saw that. Yeah. That's a slippery slope right there, because that's now I can say, playing devil's advocate again, is the reason that you can't really compare apples to apples with steroids versus GLP-1s is because, GLP-1s, they're saying, well, those are making people becoming, they're keeping them from becoming obese. Obesity causes health problems, blah, blah. So the essential is the GLP-1s are making people be healthier. That's the narrative, right? Whereas steroids, it's just making you look bigger, so I'm not drawing a direct comparison. I just want to be clear that people are watching. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, but
I don't like that.
But the cosmetic surgery thing, that's a weird one there.
I don't like that because the problem with all of that is, so what would you do if Ozempic, if they just ran out of just factory supply of Ozempic in general, then
I don't know.
What would you do? Well, not saying you, but just people in general, what would you do?
I don't know.
It's that's the
probably get off the black market and pay twice as much for it.
Listen, I don't know. Listen, when I was growing up, everybody who took those lose weight fast drugs, they ended up back to the same weight within a few months after they were done.
Oh, so Nate says there's a 6-month wait period for most health insurance. You know what though? But I know people that are not going through that stuff though, so I don't know where they're getting it. But he says it looks like there's a lot of You have to have a certain BMI. You have to have regular meetings with a dietitian. You have to have BMI of over a certain threshold. You have to have comorbidities. That all makes sense. But I know a lot of people that are not doing that stuff.
But see, I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad why he brought that up. The reason why I don't like that is because we live in America. Everybody's BMI is over a certain threshold.
You're not wrong.
Everybody's BMI. Like if it's not.
Yeah. If I looked up you, if I looked up for your height, what your thing would be. It's almost like something from the 1920s that says that you probably should weigh like 160 or something.
They did mine when I went to whatchamacallit. My BMI is 20%. They did my thing at the for this job that I can't say what it is yet, but it's like everybody's.
No, I've looked up when I like how they give you these ranges, like for your height and your age, you should be in this weight. And I'm like, dude, if I weighed that, I'd look like I was strung out on drugs or something.
You would look like the reason why Britain lost.
Yeah. Anyways, this is a good topic. Dan says there's an online pharmacies you can get it from, RO and Hims and others. Oh yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's an industry, man. But I just thought it was interesting that I saw that story. I thought it was kind of crazy. But the last thing, we good on time? We're doing okay on time. The last thing I thought was interesting was, actually, before I bring this up, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors real quick. We want to thank Galt Chamber of Commerce, Velvet Grill and Creamery, Chandler Growth Group, Frontier Performance Lubricants. Frontier Performance Lubricants is not a steroid. I just want to clarify. It sounds like it's not. It's for machinery.
I believe you.
I'm making a joke there.
I believe you.
River Rock Brewery, Parker Realty, Casey Boyd Insurance, and NorCal Spreading. We'll leave it off there for a second, and we'll come back to the other sponsors later. So thank you, everybody I just named. If you're looking for a great meal, Velvet Grill. If you're looking for a icy cold beer in an afternoon, River Rock Brew. If you're looking to sell a house, you can contact Chandler Gross Group or Parker Realty. If you're looking for your farm equipment or your automotive lubricant needs, Frontier Performance Lubricants, Galt Chamber of Commerce, self-explanatory. They are the Chamber of Commerce in Galt. Awesome organization. Casey Boyd Insurance, she can handle your home, life. Actually, I don't know if she has life insurance. She probably does, but home and auto for sure. I know that. And then NorCal Spreading, he's a ag farmer, so to speak. Shout out to my friend Nelson. That's his business. And so the other story I saw. So in New York,
shout out to Nate. I saw that, Nate.
Yeah. We'll let JT in his cool voice read the other sponsors in a few minutes when we get to that. So there was a story about in New York, they're actually the government is going to. I don't know if it's because I believe there's already subsidized childcare to some respect. So I think they're going to cover the entire cost of it or something, but it's some monumental thing that they're instituting, right? And again, I just caught the tail of the story, so I might not have the exact details, but something about that basically government's going to pay for childcare. Okay. Like not just subsidized, but full on. So what's happening now though, along with that, there's all these guidelines they're putting in, like they're just strengthening all the requirements, right? Strengthening, increasing the requirement. So, government does what government does. There's like pages. The guy's like, there's pages and pages of all these requirements you have to do. So you have these home health care, you have these home childcare, these people that maybe take care of 5 or 6 child in their home. It's a home daycare. And they're getting priced out of the industry because they're not able to. It's super complicated, all the stuff they have to be able to abide by to become.
It's free childcare for under 3-year-old kids.
Okay, yeah. So exactly. So what the problem is, and what's happening is the costs are going up. So now the childcare places that normally used to cost this much are now charging more money because the government's paying for it. See, right. So now they've driven the costs up. And then they've instituted a bunch of rules. So when the government's going to pay for something, you have to meet all this criteria. That's usually how government stuff works, right? So the criteria, some of the criteria is very, like, it's a little over the top. Like it's a little overzealous. So it's like and so they're saying it's really becoming. So there was this lady speaking on this like women's advocates group, and she's saying that this might sound like a great thing initially, but what it's causing. It's like it's not good what's causing what's happening. So I don't know. It was an interesting topic. That's why I want to bring it up.
I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, because number one, I'm gonna just tell you, I know that free child care center is gonna be.
Well, first of all, it's not free because if the government pays for it, it's not free. it's coming from us. We're paying for it to
I
taxpayer,
know
right?
that's gonna be the most trashy, most ghettos. When I ain't leaving my damn kids there, you don't leave. That's like leaving your kids with the free lunch kids. You want your kids to be with the kids who had to pay full price for lunch. That's number one. That sounded messed up, but that's just being honest. Number one. Number two, I want better understanding of if they're doing that. She's at bad take. Please explain. I'll respond to you. I want better understanding where is it specific government centers where they have child care centers?
No. This is not. They're not creating a government child care. They're saying you're able to, I guess, if you have a child 3 years or younger, you're able to apply. I'm sure there's an application process, but the way I understood it, they're making it very easily to get it. So you don't have to be like poverty level or whatever. You can apply if your kid's 3 or under. I guess it's fairly easy for you to get the government to pay for your child care. So if your son goes to the little Tots preschool down here on such and such street, it's a private business,
and I own it, they're going to give me like a voucher for it, like a government voucher,
or they're going to give the parent a voucher to pay them or something. I don't know if they're paying them directly. I don't know how the pay goes. But what I'm saying is, but it's being paid. The parent doesn't have to pay for it. But some of the guidelines, let me name some of the things. They said some of the rules are so ridiculous. Like they're saying you have to have a certain amount of fluffy toys. You have to have, if you have blocks, so many percentage of your toys has to be blocks. And so many has to be, like, and maybe this is wrong, but they're dictating what you have to have, what kind of toys, what kind of things, what kind of learning devices. You have to have so many books that are bilingual within that daycare. You have to have, there's all this, it's this long, I skimmed through the list a little bit. It's kind of crazy. Like some of the stuff you're like, I don't know.
I think sometimes those kind of almost socialist-esque policies, they can just be very damaging to those people who are really operating a small business, because all child care services, to be honest, are small businesses, like this goes.
Who's Mandini? Did you bring that
That's
up?
the mayor. That's the New York City mayor.
Oh, okay.
More than likely that you're talking about, that's probably not a New York policy. That's probably a New York City specific policy, because he's more on the social. And he seems like a nice guy. I have no beef with him.
Well, the woman I saw at the press conference that was announcing this was a woman. And I don't know who that was. She was some lawmaker of some sort.
Shout out to Love Kirk. She said, Mondani inherited a $12 billion budget deficit and has written it down to $5.4 billion in the first 100 days. So Brings does something. So just to be clear, Love Quirky, what did he do is that genuinely verified that he lowered the deficit of New York City down that fast? And what did he do to do it? And I'm not asking because I don't know. Shout out to Nate Potato, said Daycare A Center is also going to increase their prices because now people can get the government.
That's what's happening. That's what they're saying is happening. They're saying that these daycare centers are increasing their costs because it's not just Mr. and Mrs. Smith that are paying this out of their own pocket. The government is paying for it. The great example I would give you is this. Have you ever seen a medical bill that you've gotten and you get the bill even though your insurance is paying for it, and you're like, wow, my 2 days in the hospital was $50,000?
Yeah.
No one could ever pay to afford that. But they're charging that kind of money because the insurance is paying for it. Have you ever went to the doctor where you're like, oh, your x-ray is going to be $1,000? And you're like, oh, no, I don't have insurance. I'm going to pay cash for that. Oh, well, that's $250 then. I've done that before. Have you ever done that? You ever know that?
No.
Do you know that in some instances, if you're paying for the bill yourself or you're paying cash, it's like way cheaper than if they bill the insurance. When they bill the insurance, it's always way more money.
Really?
How is that fair? Like, because it's just ridiculous, right?
I never knew that.
This is a whole different subject, but so I feel like, so what they're saying is that the cost of childcare is rising now because the government is involved in paying for stuff now, because, the government's got deep pockets, let's get it. Let's get that money.
Shout out to Nate Potato, who said Daycare Center B that doesn't meet the government's requirements is going to die out because they can't offer the free daycare, or they may increase their prices to those who stay. Do you know my aunt who owns a security company?
Mm-hmm.
She called me yesterday, upset about SB 1203 that they just passed in California.
Yeah.
Because what she was saying is, now to what you were just saying about the daycare,
I saw your post about that.
How 1203 affects us here is now when you do security, the security guards that you employ, they have to have, they'll say, certain levels of training and certification. We already have to have it regardless. The problem with that is now what they're saying is to have that certification,
Yeah.
you as a company,
Yeah.
you can't give the cert. You have to go to specific union companies to do it to get the certification.
Well, that's what they're saying. Where the government that's what they were calling it, government red tape. So going back to the child care, some of the other things we're saying, in order for you to be a child care provider, so what they've done is they haven't just gone in and said. So this is where this just came to me. So I apologize, I didn't include this in the original conversation. They haven't just said, if you want the government to pay for your childcare, you have to take them to a certain center that has all these requirements. They've basically said, now that the government pays for childcare 3 and under, here's the new set of rules for childcare providers. Okay. And now, that's what's happening. Some of them where you have to have, some of these make sense. You have to be CPR trained. That is not a big ask. That makes sense, right? But some of them were like, you have to have so many hours of this, so many hours of that, and there's all these different trainings. And some of them were like, what? And it's hurting the small people, like the lady who takes care of like 3 or 4 kids in her home, right? She's the small childcare provider where she has I know somebody like that. They have bought a bigger house. They have a whole part of the house that's just dedicated to childcare. She has maybe 7 or 8 kids that she watches. She's been doing it for years. She's great. And all that. So those are the people that's crushing those people because they can't.
What if they said, if your daycare offers free services for those, we're going to pay for the services of the kids who are under 3 years old.
Then you have to meet those criteria, right?
You have to meet those criteria, but we'll pay for it to meet those criteria if you say we're accepting kids who fall under the free. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah. But like I said, some of the rules were really out there. Like some of the things they were requiring them to have, this and this and that. It was just really some of the things were like almost contradictory.
But that's what I'm saying is, what if they said, hey, if you're going to have your daycare qualify as one where kids under 3 years old, their parents can have them come there for free. Cool. But you have to meet this criteria, but we'll pay for your daycare to meet that criteria.
Oh, well, yeah, that would make sense.
That would make a lot more sense versus you saying, now we're forcing you to meet all these standards that don't make sense. It's the same thing what mom was saying about their situation.
But the problem with that is now, let me hear me out. Let's say you want to open a childcare center. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's going to be JT's childcare. Mm-hmm. I like it. That sounds like that's a future business model for you right now. JT's It's going to be called Thomas's Tots. That's Thomas's Tots. All right. So here we are. So now you want to become you're like, I'm going to get on this gig. I'm going to get some, the government pays me. I can take care of people's kids. So now you need all these certifications, right? Oh, but the government's going to pay you, right? All right. Well, how is it fair that me, taxpayer over here that doesn't have kids, that has nothing to do with childcare, why should my tax dollars pay for you to get all kinds of certifications just so that your business can then get money from the government on top of that money?
But then the alternative ain't that better either, because if you're saying, see, with those certifications you're talking about that they have to get now, do they have to get it regardless of if they're offering free childcare to kids who are under 3 years old or not? Do they have to get it regardless, or?
Yeah, so it's like I just said, it's basically, Corky says for the betterment of the community. But the thing of it is, let me explain something to you, Corky. This is an example of some of the worst things you ever heard is when the government says, hi, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. The government is always not good at doing things. When you interject government sometimes into private enterprise to some respects because you think it's going to make it better, sometimes it makes it worse. And this is kind of an example where you have these women's advocacy groups that represent lots of parents, and they're speaking and they're raising their hand and say, whoa, this sounds great, but hold time out. This is why this is not that great of an idea. And they're the ones that are blowing the whistle on this thing, saying, don't rush into this.
You know what I'll say, and I'll shout out to Corky. I'll meet you in the middle at this point. He's the mayor of New York City. New York City is the most expensive city to live out in the country. Yeah, people.
Well, just to clarify, I don't know if this is the mayor. I don't know if this is the mayor of New York. This is the state of New York.
I think it's probably him.
So
it sounds like something he would do.
Well, it was a woman that was talking about it on the podium.
Okay,
so it could be a senator or a congressman or something. I don't know.
Mayor, she said the mayor. I knew it was the mayor. But so I'm saying that because I get what you're saying. It doesn't hurt to say, hey, we want to have qualified people take care of our kids, whether the parents are poor or not. What I'm saying is you have to be careful, because if you're allowing the government to put all this red tape and make it harder for the people who are offering these services, because it can get to a point where the people who are forced to get all these certifications will say, well, hey, if I have to do this, that, and the third, et cetera, and I'm not even getting like a recompense for it, I could just shut down the business.
Well, so here's what happens when you start interjecting, when you have like a, let's just call it for what it is. So, a childcare business is it's capitalism, right? You can start a business, you can compete with other childcare, whatever. It's free market, right? So obviously we need to have some, and the people that are advocating, the mothers groups, they're basically saying we believe you have to have full background, background checks, certain CPR. There's things that automatically make sense to have these childcares. But the problem is when you start implementing all kinds of extra things that are required, you just start implementing those things. What happens is, and these things, and I'm saying things that are kind of just out there, like, why is that required? That just seems excessive. These are excessive things, right? What happens is so now let's say that you have a choice to send your kid to 10 providers in your city, right? 10 childcare centers, right? But because of all these new rules and all this kinds of stuff, it prices out 5 of them. They close because they can't abide by the rules. It's just too much, right? So now you only have 5 to pick from. So what happens? Essentially, costs usually go up. It's simple economics. And so, especially if the government's paying for them, they raise prices. So the people that are not getting that, so people that have, maybe the 4-year-old that doesn't qualify for that program, I don't know. What I would advise to someone is to look at.
Listen, CPR certification, I completely understand. Other certifications, and I'm not that well versed in the childcare business, so I don't know what specific of the certifications they said they had to get. Maybe if I do my research, some of those certifications might make sense to me. But if you're just forcing them to go, if it's a bunch of stuff that's unnecessary, and I'm seeing that happen particularly.
Corky made a thing and said, so the mom and pop company making a car company failed. Their company went under because they couldn't afford to add seatbelts when they mandated seatbelts. Corky, you're talking about a safety measure. You're talking about adding a safety measure that keeps people from dying. We're talking about rules that says you have to have a certain kinds of books in your thing. You have to have a book that's for the, you have to have this book. You have to have a certain amount of toys that are for I saw some of the list. It's really excessive and kind of ridiculous. And the thing of it is, going back to the seatbelts, I'll match your analogy with the seatbelts. Okay. Here's the thing. Nobody will disagree that wearing a seatbelt's a bad thing, but the government comes in and says that a car has to have a seatbelt. Okay. Then the government comes in and says, the car has to have an airbag because we need to protect you, right? Then the government comes in and says all kids have to be in car seats, and then they change those rules, and the cars have to be in this car seat, and this car, and they start all this stuff, right? But then it gets to a point now where the car seat is like, well, the kid has to be over this age, but if he's this much weight, then he can whatever, and start getting all tricky, right? Okay, so hear me out. The problem with where you get to going when you keep doing this is pretty soon you get to a point where the government can tell me, you can't drive a car unless it's had regular oil changes every 3,000 miles because it's not safe. Your car's not safe if you haven't had regular intervals and maintenance. If you can't prove to the government when you go to renew your driver's license, your registration for your car, Sean, if you can't prove that you've done regular maintenance on your car on a regular basis, that car is not safe. Right. Or check this out. If you've altered that car, if you like put different tire sizes on it, you put custom wheels on it, whatever, you've altered that car. It's no longer legal to be the road. That's where we end up in the world. That's where we end up, Corky, is that world. I want to be able to have a choice if I want to drive a car that maybe doesn't have airbags. Now, the seatbelt thing, you say, what's wrong with seatbelts? Nothing. But it's just you're chipping away at its government oversight. And pretty soon the government controls everything you do. It shouldn't be the government's job, JT, to tell you, like, for example, I ride motorcycles, right? If you want to ride a motorcycle, JT, and you want to kill yourself because you weren't wearing a helmet, hey, man, it's your life. Go kill yourself. Right. But why should I have to tell you have to do that?
So I'm going to say, Corky, and I appreciate your engagement. This actually makes the conversation interesting. I really appreciate that. So she said, these are safety measures. These are measures to help children. And she said, these are all good. I say, as I always say, 2 things can be true. There are some measures that do need to be necessary. Even when we say with the child care thing, I do think CPR certification, that's something that should be
right. Oh, yeah.
A certain amount of hours of training that shows that you've got some certification that you know how to deal with.
But you don't think all those things have been existed? You don't think a lot of those things you're talking about have existed for decades?
And that's where I'm about to get to my point. When you get to all of these industries, there are certain, in any industry, there's always some kind of certification that literally literally makes no sense that this is a goddamn requirement, but somehow the government has a way to implement this. And this is where my libertarian side kind of starts to come out. You don't have to have all this red tape over specific shit. It goes back to what I was saying about my aunt with the security thing.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with saying, hey, your armed guard should have more training. It's nothing wrong with that. What's something wrong is you saying, but the only people who are qualified to give you that training are the people that we designate in a certain union. My family's had a security company for 16 years.
Yeah.
The fuck you, excuse my language, but
Yeah.
what you mean we not qualified to? We've done security for Underground, SMUD, PG&E, and all these. What you mean to tell me we not qualified
Right.
to? What you talking about? Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, and
You didn't say that. That wasn't to you. That wasn't.
Yeah,
to you.
yeah. No, so you make a point. So your example with the security requirements, it's just I'm just simply throwing it out there that, look, I've been elected official for 7 years. What I can tell you is I have seen government red tape firsthand. It is crazy how much government red tape exists, and sometimes you go, wait a second, we're hiring a consultant to tell us how to do this. And then we hire another consultant, and I'm not making this up, this is true. Then we hire another consultant to check the work of the first consultant to make sure that's okay. And all of this, when you have a qualified individual who's paid for the city of Galt that probably could have made these decisions already, but they don't want to take accountability. If something don't go right, they want to be able to look the taxpayer, the people of Galt, in the face and said, well, we hired an expert consultant on this, and then we hired a second consultant to double check their work. All of that costs taxpayer dollars, and this is how the government works. So the government, my point with this story is that when you get government involved in stuff, sometimes it's not always a good thing. That's all I'm trying to say.
I'm gonna read her comment, then I'm gonna make a point to you. Shout out to Corky. You said, I work in public works compliance, buddy. I know what you're talking about. But when it comes to child development and safety, I find it hard to negotiate these measures. Plus, if it's a free program that is accessible to single working mothers so she can afford to make sure her toddler is safe, then shrug. Now, to what you're saying to that, my aunt, she retired from Caltrans. She worked in law for them. And when they were having that whole conversation about Doge and getting rid of government waste, she told me this. She said, the problem with the government on a state and federal level is really not that they're lazy. It's just what they'll do is they'll pay somebody else to do something that they could have paid somebody in-house to do it. That goes to what my job is now. I do federal security. My job, I literally do what the Federal Protective Service cops would do if they just hired more bodies. That's literally what I do. Yeah. I arrest people, I search people, et cetera, et cetera. I do exactly their jobs, but they just don't want to hire more people.
What I would say, Corky, is you're right. If it can help a single mother and she can afford rent and make her toddler safe, then you're like, why is it not a bad thing? But what I'm saying is there's these women's groups that are crying foul, and they're raising these concerns about it. So all I would say is, somebody who's watching the show right now that's hearing about this for the first time, I would say go look it up online and maybe Google what's the pros and cons and read them for yourself. I have not done that. I'm only going by the story and what I saw by the interviews. They were interviewing someone who was on the other side of it, saying that we have concerns. And so they were just raising a little bit of a red flag, saying, is this really the best thing? It needs to have a deeper dive. So I would like to know more about it. People should look into it themselves and see, what are the bad parts of what is it a good? Do the goods outweigh the bads? Possibly. Or is there a lot of side effects that people are not thinking about?
Corky, I want to ask you something, and then we can move on to another topic, because I know we've been on this one for this topic for how long. From what you know about this, is this something? I just want to be clear that all daycare businesses, or the childcare service businesses that are operating in New York City, are these new certifications or whatever, is this something that they have to all get across the board?
That's my understanding of it. That's my understanding.
I bring that up because just off GP, because I'm pretty sure they all paycheck to paycheck just in general, as most small businesses probably really are in New York, to be honest with you. A lot of them might be forced to close because of it. And that's where the government...
But Corky's argument is, but if it's making our kids safer, if they can't comply, then who cares if they go under? They should be willing to do this and because they're taking care of children. So, they should be able to comply with reasonable stuff and be in business. That's what you're saying.
I don't have an issue with those compliances if it's stuff that is just, hey, we can't we can't renege. This is something we have to have. CPR training, I understand. Hell, even a trade certification, I get that.
I mean, look, we don't have the list in front of us. If we had the list, we could really nitpick. If we knew what was required, we could say, well, this sounds excessive. But anyways, you guys get the gist of it. We appreciate the comments. This is a very interesting topic, especially for people who have children. Now, this isn't happening in California, so it's not affecting us firsthand. So I only brought it up because I thought it was an interesting topic. And I know a lot of people have, most families now, a lot of families rely on healthcare. I mean, on childcare. And so it's a big thing that affects everybody's life. So that's the only reason I wanted to bring it up. But yeah. So what else? Oh, and I want to mention, let's talk about some stuff going on around town real quick. So we make sure we have time for that. So have you guys heard of the Helping One Woman? Have you heard of that? So this organization called Helping One Woman, they determine through, so I guess people can nominate somebody who they think in the community is a woman who's in need. The last one, she has like an autistic son or autistic child. I don't know if it's a son or daughter. And then something happened with her husband. So anyways, she's someone who really needs some help, right? Financial help. So they sell tickets to like a big lunch or a dinner thing. They fundraise for just this one person specifically, and everybody comes together. It's like all these women come together, and women and men too. I guess it's not just for women, but they pick a woman that they're going to help this person. Okay. And they reach out to her, and I guess there is a choice. They ask her, do you mind us helping you? Because I guess some people are kind of, I don't know, I feel funny about that. I don't know if I want it, whatever. But if they agree to it, then they do it. So they did it at Brewster's. Okay. They did it upstairs. They sold out. The tickets are not cheap. They sold out in like the first couple of hours. It was like 180 tickets, and they sold out that quick. So they raised $15,000 for this lady. She's a lady who lives here in Galt. They raised $15,000 for her to help her out with all she has going on. And then at that group at that same time, people are able to nominate who's the next person we're going to help out, right? And then the nominations go into something, and then somehow the person who was just helped with the money gets to draw the name or whatever. I'm not sure of the procedure exactly, but anyways, so they're doing a second one coming up this next month. It's sold out within hours. All the tickets are sold out already. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I have some friends who are involved with it, and they came in and told me about it and stuff. And it's really cool that many people are getting together and they're able to make a difference in someone's life. But it's like it's selling out so fast. It's crazy.
I just realized who this is. This is she works at the coffee shop.
Who?
Corky?
Oh. No. It's actually it's a friend of Kellen's, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But not Coley.
This is who you sent to attack me. That was why she was like that's who you was texting in the corner. Get him! I got him right here. Yeah. My dad got him ready.
You got JT up again on the ropes right now. Get him with the jabs. All right. So anyway, so we have on the screen right now, we have Take and Grow. This is a thing that the Galt Teen Center is doing. It's going to be on 17th, which is 2 days from now, 6 to 9 p.m. And they're going to serve dinner at 6. So this is a thing. So let's talk about the Teen Center real quick. For those of you who don't know, we have a Galt Teen Center.
We have a Galt Teen Center.
And there has some very important individuals that have made this place happen. They came to city council years ago and said, we're going to start a teen center where kids have somewhere to go after school. We're going to have things they can do, hang out, adult supervision, adult volunteers. They set up, their 501, nonprofit status, all the things. They got some funding. They completely renovated with just volunteers. They renovated the building that they're at, which is down it's right under the water tower. Where the water tower in Galt, it's a building right below. That's the Galt Teen Center. They renovated it. All bunch of dads came forward and swung some hammers, and they built some stuff. The kids chipped in. I can go on and on and on. The place is amazing, but it's in jeopardy because they need some volunteers to help. They need basically adult chaperones. What I'm saying this means is they need some people to step up. They asking for people that could dedicate maybe just 1 or 2 evenings in a month that you could go down for 2 hours and be a volunteer at the teen center to hang out with 10 or 15 teenagers. I went down there when I was playing pool. They got a pool table there. I was playing pool. Then they got video games in there. It's actually pretty cool. I haven't been down there in a while, but they're looking for people to step up and be volunteers to do that. Now you do have to go get a live screen or a live scan, fingerprint background check, because you can't go in there. Right. It's the only requirement. You got to do that. But she has been asking for me to put this out there. One of the main people, Sarah, is going to be leaving the country. Her family's moving overseas. So she's leaving, and she's really concerned about the future of the teen center because she feels like they're hurting for some people now. And the people that are already helping, they can't give any more help than they're already giving. So they're looking for new people to step up. If you live in Galt, you are over the age of 18, and you would like to be involved with the Galt Teen Center, reach out to me. I will put you in touch with the people that you need to talk to. And you can, and if you could just one evening, 2 evenings in a whole month, that's all you need to do is just help out the Teen Center. It's an important organization, honestly.
Listen, we always say we care about the kids. These kids are important. If you're free, if you have the same love, I would go, but I can't because y'all always have this thing about how I'm trying to talk to everybody's mom, and which is true. So one of them kids actually got a mom who do pick them up on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I can't go because her husband know I follow her. But more of the story is like what I blew up the spot. Listen, go support the kids.
No, seriously. No, I'm genuinely making I'm basically making a plea to our viewers right now to help the Galt Teen Center. And so please, you can email us at greatamericanlittletown@gmail.com. You can message us on Instagram, or you can just find me on Facebook, message me on my Facebook page. But this place is important to teens. We need to get these people. Nate Potato, I'll sign up after I get after I am back for London. Okay, well, I appreciate that. But yeah, we need some people. So I'm trying to figure out if I could do, maybe a day or so a month and do the same. I've been saying, yeah, I'll try to do something, and I've been lagging. So I need to get off. I need to get off and do something too. Honestly, myself, I'm guilty of lagging. But we're gonna have on the 8th of May on our show, we're gonna have Sarah McFadden. She's one of the original organizers of the Teen Center. She will be our guest. Yes, she'll be our guest on the show to talk about the Teen Center and all the great things the Teen Center has done and how it has come to be what it is. So we'll have her on here, and it's going to be a great show. So please tune in on May the 8th.
Where's she moving to?
Spain.
Bro, why everybody leaving now?
I don't know.
What she going to Spain?
I don't know. Her whole family's going. So, yeah.
Really?
All right. So, moving on from Teen Center, our next event. What else we got going in town? Looking for the next flyer. We got the Cow Plop Bingo. Cow Plop Bingo, folks. Cow Plop Bingo is put on by the Chamber of Commerce and also the Ronsby Johnson Real Estate Group. They're spearheading this. So, shout out to Becky Ronsby and Michaela Johnson for orchestrating this. They are going to have a real Highland cow, a baby Highland cow.
Okay,
a real one.
Okay,
a real one. I already bought a spot. I bought a square already. You buy a square. I don't know what's up on the screen over here. You bought a square. Okay, you buy a square, and then wherever the cow, does its duty, that's when you win. You can win. So I bought you can win up to $2,000 on the minimum level. And if you buy a higher dollar square, you can win $4,000. True. Yeah, it's crazy.
How much is a square?
I think it's the minimum square is 150. That's what I bought.
I mean, hey, listen.
So, anyways, it's Saturday, April the 25th. It's from 6 to 10. Even if you don't buy a square, you can show up. They're going to have food, music. It's going to be great. It's going to be right there on C Street at Ronsby and Johnson Real Estate. That's right behind Dry Creek, right behind Dry Creek Liquor, right there. So, show up. It should be great. If you want to find out how to buy a square, you can contact the Galt Chamber of Commerce or Ronsby and Johnson. This is all over social media, so check it out. It should be fun. Next event is Cinco de Mayo. This is the Galt Saturday Market. Of course, every Saturday, this is going to be this Cinco de Mayo theme. The cool thing with this one is you're going to love this, JT. Are you ready for it? I almost need a drum roll. Hold on. Where's my drum roll? All right. They're going to do a competition, and it is who has the best tacos in Galt.
Okay.
So they're inviting anybody who thinks they have the best tacos in Galt. Taco truck, whoever, doesn't matter. Step up your game and try to be crowned the best taco in Galt. They're going to crown a winner who gets best. I don't know who the judges are. I've had people reach out to me and say, "How can I be a judge for this?" And I'm like, I don't know. That sounds like a pretty good gig though to be a judge. I don't know that I don't have the skills to be a taco judge because I'm a lightweight with tacos. You would be good.
I can tell you,
dude. You would be a good judge.
Oh hell, who the hell said compadres? Nah, bro. And I got love for the homie over there, but no, brother, no.
He said you got to have him Arthur style though.
Taco Feliz. Taco Feliz has the best tacos in Galt. It's it's not even a conversation, bro. Like it's not even they've been letting me pay my rent and tacos there for the longest time.
Dude, JT, you would be a great judge for tacos. I need to connect you with somebody to see if they already got judges picked out.
I'll do it. I'm down to do it.
Because I know you're like a real taco connoisseur, and you would the Arthur style's off the menu. I've been in love with Taqueria Santa Cruz and
they're not bad. They're solid. Taco de Santa Cruz. They're kind of solid. I'll give them that.
See, he's up on the tacos, man. So, anyways, this is going to be May 2nd at the Cinco de Mayo Galt Saturday Market in Old Town. They're going to do who has the best tacos in Galt. It's going to be a big deal. It's called the Taco Showdown. So here's a little bit of information about it. Actually, we'll leave this up on the screen for just a moment.
So shout out to Feline Roxy Rocks, who commented and said, Tacos Romero's has the best tacos in Galt. And I have respect to them. Their family's been nothing but generous to me. When I say generous,
I feel there's a but coming along.
Yeah, when I say generous, I'm only saying that because they give me extra green sauce.
Okay, so where's the but? No, not the best.
It's Taco Feliz is the best.
Taco Feliz is what? The taco truck by Dry Creek Realty?
It is the one
by Dry Creek Liquor.
It is the taco truck.
Yeah, I know you keep talking about them all the time. You just give them a huge plug.
The two best taco trucks in Galt are Taco Feliz and Las Perlas. They're better than any tacos you get.
You know who has really good tacos, but they're like seafood based? And it's one of my sponsors, so don't talk trash.
Oh, he's a homie. I like him.
Las Aslitas. Shout out to Las Aslitas, one of my sponsors. Las Aslitas, if you're into seafood, I'm not into seafood taco stuff, but Mariscos Las Aslitas right there on C Street in the plaza in the back. You got to check them out.
I was supposed to interview him too. He's done with
Carlos.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
JT is getting blacklisted from multiple establishments right now. Yeah, you are. You're like, this guy is not invited. If you see this guy come in the door,
I already got I already got blacklisted from multiple gas stations last month.
Yep.
So this ain't nothing.
Yep. They're gonna have Carlos and Mario are gonna escort you right out the front door once you show up. You're gonna be on the list, man.
What you doing here, brother? You lost?
Yeah, you in the wrong place.
You're in
all right. So along with the Saturday market is, and this is the gem of the event, the Makers Market, the Children's Makers Market. If you have not heard of this is so cool. This is a children's entrepreneur fair and contest. Okay, there are big sponsors. I'm not joking. They're big sponsors. They're actually adding a price. So not only do they give out checks, big checks to kids for their, so this is how it works. The kids have a product. They have to come up with a business plan. The kids actually have to apply and sign up to be on there. You can't just sign your kid up. You have to apply. So the kids they have their own business. They have to have a business plan. They have to show how their products make or what they're selling. And it could be like they make cookies, or maybe this kid over here makes homemade bracelets, or this kid over here, has a lawn mowing business or whatever. It's an entrepreneur fair. So these kids, and they have different age groups. So they have young kids, older kids, and they have teenagers. So you can compete in different age levels. I was a judge the first year. It's awesome. These kids, man, I'm like, how much did it cost you? Oh, this is how much I pay for them. And after I do this, how much. They know all the number. I mean, it's crazy. Some of these kids are smart. And some of these kids have this isn't like an idea. They're already doing it. They're already doing. Mario from 4M Hats, he was one of the winners one year.
I remember.
He's going to be a judge this year.
He just as well deserved.
Mario from 4M Hats is going to be a judge. Yes, exactly. He's a sharp kid.
Shout out to Love Corky, who said, I love the child labor fair.
Yeah. So make sure all the kids get patents and copyrights for their businesses. No evil adults still. Yeah. Right. So no, it's really cool, man. I was super impressed with these kids. Like I was like overly impressed. So as of today, they have 77 kids signed up. 77 kids are already signed up. And this isn't even until May. It will easily be over 100. I guarantee you. Amazing. It was over 100 last time. And then they're going to give out all these checks from sponsors. It's a big deal. Matt's heavily involved in this too. But Senator Roger Nielo is coming. He was so impressed with this that he came down. He's going to do a senator's pick, and they're going to give a special amount of money to whoever he felt was his personal pick.
Shout out to Mr. O'Neill.
Yeah, Mr. Senator Nielo. So that was that was something I was told today.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
So if you want to get involved, if you want to come check it out, it's free to come check it out. You can come down, check out all the kids. At the Saturday market, there's no entry, no nothing. It's going to be all the way down C Street. So the Saturday market is on 4th Street. The Children's Maker Market goes all the way down C Street, down almost all the way to 6th, kind of down where the taco truck is that I just described. It's going to go all the way down to there. Mm-hmm. There's a QR code on the flyer right here. So if you want more information, you can scan that QR code. You can also contact Michaela Johnson or Becky Ronsby at the phone numbers I have here. We are sharing this on our social media. We will be sharing it from now until May. So there will be more of this being shared. If you have a child who wants to get involved and try to win some money for their business vision, their idea, whatever they're working on, get your kids signed up, pass it on to somebody you know. You can find out, more information. www.childrensbusinessfair.org/California. I'm sorry, /Galt-California. So it's all right there. So anyways, this is cool. This is a cool thing, man. You got to go check it out. I think you're going to be impressed.
I'm going to come.
You're going to be real. I was highly impressed, man.
I will be there. I was the last one they had last year and live streamed it when everybody was there. I'll come there and live stream it again.
Some little kids, man. I couldn't believe they're savvy. And so the parents are able to help to a certain point, but the parents can't sit there and ask questions for them or answer questions for them. So when you interview the kids, when the judges, the parents can't,
I did a video interviewing them last year and I messed up because my mic quality was so bad. So when they were talking, it didn't pick up nothing. It just heard me asking questions and didn't hear what they said back. So we're a sponsor too. The Great American Little Town Podcast is a sponsor. We've donated and chipped in some money. We're also going to they're going to do a mixer on May the 20th. I'm sorry, on April 29th, which is a Wednesday evening. That's the night of one of our shows. But in the evening, they're doing a mixer here in the Chamber of Commerce courtyard. And they're going to have some of the kids and people are invited to whatever. We will be here interviewing. We're going to do a live stream, a video. We'll probably live stream it. We're going to record it, maybe live stream it on Facebook. And then possibly put it on the show afterwards, but we will be interviewing some of the kids and broadcasting that as part of the Great American Little Town Podcast. So Dan and I and Kalen will be involved in that, and we'll be interviewing people. So stay tuned for that live stream on the 29th of this month. Yeah. Shout out to all the talented makers out there. Shout out to all the talented.
All right. What's our next flyer? Anything else? Taco de Mayo. This is the theme tonight, bro. I brought you on. It's all about tacos tonight.
Okay.
Taco. I should have had music recorded, man. I should have had some taco music to make you feel right at home.
Are these all on the same day?
You talk about this one.
So great people, the Rotary Club. Shout out to the Rotary Club. Shout out to Grace and her family. I think her mama owns it or operates it. Taco de Mayo, or May 2nd, at Segundo de Mayo. They're going to have a community fundraiser on, is that Saturday or Wednesday?
It's Saturday, May 2nd.
Saturday, May 2nd. You're going to have all the tacos you can eat. Taco Felice is going to be there. They're going to have margaritas. They're going to have beers. They're going to have Brian King on the DJs playing the music. It's going to be $20 to get in. It's going to be a whole thing at Littleton Center. It's going to be a thing. If you are a member of the Hufflepuff House of Harry Potter, you don't have to pay to get in. It's free.
What?
Yeah, so come there. All you have to do is bring your Hufflepuff robe or bring your Hufflepuff scarf, and you're perfectly fine. You can get in for free at the Rotary Club at Littleton Town Center. It's going to be 5 p.m. May 2nd. I want to see everybody there. Shout out to Corky, her and Kaylin and Sean. They gonna jump me again. Shout out to Chris Lange. Chris Lange gonna back me up. To Chris Lange, he got my back. I know he got me.
Taco music. I know. See Corky said too. I should have taco music. So this is Galt Rotary's main fundraiser. They do a good job. Now I have tickets. We have tickets to the coffee shop. People can buy them. You can come in and buy them. We gave away 2 tickets on the last show for our trivia for this. We gave away 2 tickets.
Hold up. Feline Roxy Rock said, I hear JT is covering our covering of the Hufflepuff tickets. New York City Mayor Mondami is covering that and daycare services that day. So that's not coming up.
Hey, you better be careful what you say, because there's some people that are in the chat right here that will come up dressed like you're talking about, just to get those free tickets. You better be careful, bro.
If they did,
you're gonna have to step up.
Low key, if they did, I will pay for them. I'm a proud Hufflepuff. I'm a proud Hufflepuff.
You would heard it. You heard it right here.
I'm a proud Hufflepuff.
Right here. And it's not all the tacos you can eat. Dinner includes 3 tacos, rice, and beans, just so you know.
Okay. See,
just want to make sure clear.
Yeah, because that's the problem. Oh, see, Tom, look at him. I will pretend to be
a Hufflepuff.
So what you a Slytherin, bro? You a Slytherin? That's the problem. You need Jesus in your life. Come to the Hufflepuff side. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Thank you for that. It's a little over the top. That was a little more than I was asking for, but thank you for that. Any more flyers?
Hufflepuff.
All right, this one's right up your alley too. Self-defense and awareness. This is the city of Galt's putting this on. Galt Parks and Recreation. People say, we don't do anything for the kids in our community. This is what I hear. I'm going to say it just like that every time I say it. Every time from this point forward on this podcast that I share anything that has to do with kids, I'm going to preface that discussion with, we don't do anything for the kids in this community. I'm going to say it just like that. All sarcastic and snotty, like just like that right there, because people say that. You know, we talked about it. Parks and Rec, one of the many things that Galt Parks and Rec does for kids is Kid Safe, self-defense awareness. This is spring classes, age 5 to 13. If you want to sign up, contact Galt Parks and Recreation, find out how you can get your kid involved. So it's one of the things they offer. Next flyer. Oh, look, it's another thing offered for kids. Look at that. Go figure. Okay. Impact Sports and Play Center is doing a kids corner at the Saturday market. So each Saturday market from now on, they have a whole area that Impact Sports is sponsoring called the Kids Corner. So while mom and dad are hanging out in the Saturday market and doing their thing, they have a whole area that's just designated for kids called Kids Corner. And it's being sponsored by Impact Sports Center. So thank you to Impact Sports for doing that and contributing to the things for our kids in the community. We appreciate it. Yeah, he's reliving a mean Facebook post. That's exactly what I'm doing, Rick. That's exactly what I'm doing. Because I'll quote it. I'm gonna go back. The post said, this town has never done anything for our kids, for our children. That's what it said. That's literally verbatim. This town has never done anything for our
to be fair, the person who commented that, I've learned this, they might not even live in the town.
Oh, maybe. I think they do live in here. But anyways, next flyer. Anything else? All right, that's it for community events. So again, if you want tacos, you want to go to the Children's Maker Market, I'm going to combine all those. We are going to have a child entrepreneur at the Makers Market who is going to be making, not only are they going to win the best entrepreneur award at the Makers Market, but they're also going to get crowned for the best tacos. It's going to be like a swoop. It's going to be like an Oscar sweep for that kid.
Taco Feliz is going to win, and the kids, whoever kid make the best chocolate chip cookies, because I am a chocolate chip.
Hey, there's some cookie makers there. I'm not lying.
But the problem is, his parents don't be honest about how trash their kids' cookies be. I'm a chocolate chip cookie connoisseur, and I will let you know if the cookie is the way that I like it. So, all
right. So we're down to the end. We're going to do some trivia here so I'm going to do the trivia question here and let you guys all mill it over to see who's going to win our shirt tonight. And then JT and I will chat about something for maybe a couple more minutes just to give you guys time to put your answers up. So what we're all fighting to win tonight is, I told you it's our swag. This is not, now remember, I want to remind you, not everybody gets one of these shirts. There is a very limited amount of people. There's probably less than 6 people in the community of Galt that actually owns one of these shirts. And that's including myself. So me plus like 5 other people. Me and Dan and like 4 other people own these. So we got black ones. You can have your choice of black. And I have a few different sizes. So of course you all know what they look like. So you guys can wear these and rep us. We appreciate wearing. These are cool shirts designed by yours truly, Kaylin Farmer. Designed by her. Yep, she designed these. So we got black and we got this kind of this dark heather gray, call it. I don't know. I forget the exact name, but anyways, so this is what that one looks like. All right. So this is what's up for grabs. And the first person to answer the question gets the shirt. The question tonight is, are you ready? We got to have a drum roll. So Dan is not here tonight, but in honor of Dan, what is Dan's niece's name in North Dakota that he always brags about?
Ezekiel.
First person to put that name up in the screen wins a shirt. All right. So anyways, oh, that's right. You know, Harry Wenzel, he has a podcast shirt. You're one of the few, Harry. You're one of the VIP. You have a shirt. He worked at city council meeting. Props to Harry Wenzel.
Shout out to Harry.
That's right. He's repping us at the city council meeting.
Shout out to Harry. H1Z.
Yep. So Rick says Nate will win. He always wins. Nate does win a lot. So, anyways, anything you want to bring up while we're
just things. First off, Corey, I saw that comment you said that I was going to get jumped at every Mexican restaurant in the Gulf City limits. I did say that. I want to say I support all small business in this town except the one whose tacos I don't like. A few things I wanted to talk about. Number one, there was a conversation online about the possible gang war that's going to erupt in between us and Harold.
Here's a joke. You're talking about the Herald post that said Harold's the best and all that?
And I've already rallied my troops.
Hey, Herald people are proud people. Gertrude. Nope, not Gertrude. So, sorry.
Nope,
not Allison. Nope, still not got it. All right. There's not going to be a cow. It's going to be a cow war.
It's going to be a cow war.
A cattle war. It's going to be a cattle war.
It's going to be a cattle war. We have 2.5 more ducks and beavers than they have in Harold, so we'll be fine. But while we're doing this, I want to ask, while you guys are guessing who Dan's niece is that he always brags about, let us know in the comments. Do you have any questions for us? While you have me and Shawnee, let us know. Do you have any comments for me?
And while people who don't even want to bother trying to guess, but just want to ask a question, throw any question up before we close the show. But while we're doing that, Mr. JT, would you please read the rest of our sponsors, starting with Azevedo Quality Harvesting?
Shout out to Azevedo Quality Harvesting. If you want harvesting and you want it quality, talk Azevedo. Shout out to Sean Farrell. Shout out to Spawn's Cookies. They pies go crazy. They cinnamon rolls go crazy. Shout out to Ward. Sup with Matt. Shout out to Best Western. Shout out to Best Western. Shout out to Mark, owner of Next Generation Barbershop. It's always love. Shout out to King Sounds Productions. Shout out to American Fauna System. Jaime of Galt. Shout out to Mariscos Las Islitas. Mucho bien para toda la gente. Carlos no esta cosa.
Sorry, we don't have subtitles. We don't have subtitles for that. Sorry.
Shout out to Electric Hair Studio. And shout out to Corky. She had a question saying, what's your favorite song at the moment? My favorite song at the moment is Wonderful Is Your Name by Hezekiah Walker.
So here's a clue. Hold on. I'm sorry. Before you answer it, just a clue. The name starts with an H.
Starts with an H.
So that's where we're at now. We're dropping. Dan's dropping clues now, so somebody wins. Go ahead. Favorite song.
My favorite song is Wonderful Is Your Name by Hezekiah Walker. It's a gospel song. Shouts to Mr.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's an old school song. He woke me up this morning.
Did you read the rest of those?
Me on my way. I did. Oh, yeah.
You read them all?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We also got Dr. Dave from Dry Creek Family Dental. So shout out to Dr. Dave. He's over there by Horizon Church.
Dr. Dave
right there in the little brick building. So if you need a dentist, looking for a new dentist, Dr. Dave's awesome. So go check him out. Dry Creek Family Dental. He's one of our sponsors. We got a new sponsor coming on. I'm going to name it up right now. We don't have their logo up on the wall, but coming soon, Stratton's Pizza is one of our new sponsors. So shout out to Stratton's Pizza. They know a place that needs no introduction. Of course, Stratton's is awesome, but they've agreed to come aboard as a sponsor for our show because we're also awesome, and they want to continue the awesomeness together with their pizza and our talking and whatnot. So does Stratton make tacos? No, they don't. They don't make no.
No, they don't.
No, I just thought.
Shout out to Will Stratton. Shout out to all of them.
Man, nobody's got the name yet. I don't know where. I guess we're gonna have to save the shirt till next week if nobody's gonna guess the name.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to drop one more clue, but I think I hate to drop more clues because I don't want people to the fastest typers are gonna be the ones that win. Harriet, Helen, nope, it's not Helen. It's not Heather. It's not Harriet. Nope, it's not. Somebody else said another name. It's not any of those. Man, I feel so disappointed. Dan talks about his niece all the time. She's probably watching the show right now. Maybe it's past her bedtime because she's young. Actually, Dan, how old is your niece? It's 5 letters. 5-letter name.
Hazel.
Starts with H. What?
Hazel.
She watches the start of the show. She's 5. Holly. Nope, it's not Holly. Nope. God. We'll get a bit. Nate said Hazel. Actually, but you said Hazel. Sorry, Nate.
No. Give it to Nate. Give it to Nate. That's fair.
Well, I mean, you didn't know the answer. Technically,
fair. Give it to Nate. Give it to Nate.
Yeah, I can't believe you said that out loud.
Nate. I didn't know.
You didn't know it though. You didn't know. Genuinely, you didn't know the
know.
answer. Yeah, you didn't know because you were telling me earlier, like, I don't. What's the answer to the question? I mentioned. You go, oh,
Nate earned.
So shout out to Nate, Hazel. Hello, shout out to Hazel in North Dakota. She probably not watching, and she probably doesn't know what the show is. And the shirt's probably. This wouldn't fit. I'd send Hazel a shirt if we had a little kid size, but we don't. So shout out to Nate Potato. So I'll give the shirt to someone who knows you and they can get it to you. So we appreciate you repping it. And I'll tell you what, we would love for anybody who gets a shirt of ours, because we have had one other person that got a shirt. If you take a selfie with our shirt on in some cool place and send it to us, we will put it on the air wearing a shirt. We just looking for the back. You can turn around and face the back, but we want it to be like in a cool spot, like somewhere cool, and you have the shirt on.
Yeah. I pulled up an old episode and went through it.
Are you serious right now?
No,
how did you do that?
Though. That's dope. Though.
No, you can do that.
That's dope.
That's some serious dedication right there.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
All right. Well, we're going to close out, guys, but I want to remind you, next week, April 22nd, we are going to have someone talking about the Makers Market. We have one of the main organizers of the Makers Market is going to be on next week, talking in depth about the Makers Market. It's going to go into full detail about all of it. And Dan will be back. So people from the Fandango Club, shout out to Fandango Club, will be happy that Dan's back. The following week on the 29th, we'll have Mr. Mark Jackson, as you mentioned, the owner of Next Generation Barbershop. That will be a great show. Mark has a foundation that helps people transition back into jobs and finding a place to live, people who have went through addiction and things like that. This is going to tee right into a conversation about homelessness in Galt. And this is a topic we've never really kind of dove into on the show, but I know it's a big deal in Galt because it gets talked about. So we are going to be talking about that subject, full on conversation about homelessness. Who knows where that conversation is going to go, but we will be talking about that. Dan and I and Mark will be talking about that on April the 29th. So please tune in. It'll be hopefully there'll be some humor in there somewhere. It won't be all serious, but it's a serious topic and it's something that needs to be talked about. And then of course on May 8th, we'll have Sarah from the Galt Teen Center on here. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Mr. JT Thomas for joining us tonight and filling in. Big shoes to fill for Dan, but it's always entertaining having you, my brother.
Well, big
hat. Always appreciate it.
Big hat to fill, but the hat wasn't here.
Yeah. So for those of us, Kalen, myself, JT, and Dan from North Dakota, we want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Shout out to Hazel.
Sean and Dan with the hometown.
Good night, everybody.
That song is hilarious.
Weekly and you're all in the great American little town. Two guys on the mic, Sean and Dan, talking small town life where it all began. Galt's got charming stories to spare, from the city news to the country air. The great American little town, where the news is small but the pride's profound. Grab a coffee, sit back, it's all going down on the great American little town. Sports scores, local clubs, and a parade. Dan cracks a joke, Sean throws some shade. Local gossip and a heartfelt cheer. It's Galt's heartbeat right here. The great American little town, where the news is small, but the pride's profound. Grab a drink, sit back, it's all going down on the great American little town. Sean and Dan with the hometown spin. Tune in weekly and you're all in the great American little town.